Greetings, weary traveler. Come, warm yourself by the fire, and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, tales of dumpster fires and all kinds of technical difficulties, and tales of Tamriel. I am your pretend host, because Aggelos is actually hosting the technical side of the show, along with, Lotus. And
I'm just here.
yeah, it's been sort of a dumpster fire start because Discord practically gave up on me. But we managed to find a way, which is basically just a backup plan where Aggelos hosts the show just like before. But yeah, he also wants to keep playing Elder Scrolls Online while doing so. So even though he is hosting the technical side, I am still burdened with the show itself. So here we are.
You have your festive little griffin pet in the background to help, though, with the mud crab staring at you all creepy like.
You make it sound so bad. Like, I am burdened by. I'm like, wow.
He pulled a Lydia, sworn to carry your burdens.
It's 5 a.m. and my brain is a low capacity. Okay, it is difficult to put sentences together at this hour of the day on a Saturday morning. And because I made a weird intro, I drew a blank there, so thank you for just jumping in there with random stuff to get me out of that. But, so, how are you doing, Ag?
We'll dig our way out.
That's sort of what we do. Doing pretty good. I am grieved deep in the muck of Murkmire at this moment, and I realize why I don't really want to do this zone.
Just skip it. You can always skip it.
It is definitely side questy. If it has a tie-in to more, I'll be surprised because it felt very self-contained. Now that I'm like completely done with all of it,
which is
the
good.
end of it. I like the Deadwater tribe group with the psycho.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, you once you meet her, things go much better. When you meet the Deadwater, they fall in line with the way I do things very nicely.
What are you gonna do next? Spoil Game of Thrones? I'm only 3 episodes in. Why don't we do that too? I mean,
surprise! The ending's not worth it.
Surprise! George R. R. Martin. That's how he told him how he wanted it to end. So I love all the people who are complaining like, this is terrible because if they only had Martin consult. He told them how he wanted it to end. This is canon ending.
Yeah,
no.
I wish we could.
The problem
but we will
with
not.
that is,
the
problem with that is not the ending itself, but the fact that the entire 3 different storylines squeezed into one season of 6 episodes.
Okay, fair enough.
It was the script writing I had a problem with, not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that it became very much like, we're almost out of time. Pedal to the metal. It's wait, can you explain these things? No, get those things out of the way. We need to get to the ending. I'm like, all
right,
please don't do that.
They legit didn't explain anything. So
yeah. Because again, when I'm told a story, even if I don't like the outcome, I'm okay with it. As long as you do your job in explaining it to me, like in a way that I think is something that makes sense. And I was okay with it for many seasons in Game of Thrones. And then I was kind of like, oh boy, you guys are really testing me on this one. Like, yikes.
Just so you know, we're not going to tell any of the stories, but yeah.
No, and also this is Game of Thrones.
Before we continue forward, Ag, 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Are you locally recording?
No.
But he would have his own, wouldn't he?
But you could download it off Twitch.
Yeah, but that has like a 1 hour long.
I'll download it for you.
Mean, No, I can download it. It's just increased file size, but
it's actually not that big.
The other question, we did not do an audio test on your end, so I have no idea how the audio are.
Audio looks decent from my side. From all the bars that I'm looking at, looks good.
All the bars that you're...
I'm looking at the waveform.
Can you see...
Yeah, I can see where it's peaking and when it's not.
Can you see us all individually?
I can see... Because you guys don't speak at the same time, I can see the waveforms when you speak, and then when Lotus speaks, and my bar is different.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I just want to get that out of the way, and let's not spiral into a Game of Thrones discussion.
Right. Yes.
Because if you do that,
people watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? The only thing. Let's tie it right back in Elder Scrolls. Did anyone else notice? I assume most of you have noticed that Daenerys' army, for some reason, has the Elder Scrolls Online Ouroboros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is so weird to me.
No. It's a prophecy, because if you notice, it's all 3 pack symbols. It's 3 dragons. Right. It's no lion, no eagle.
You know what? You're right. Tales of Thrones.
The pact wins.
I actually like that.
Yeah, it was funny when I got up. I was wearing this hoodie, and the back of it is like the Ouroboros, and I stood up. Actually, one of the nights we were watching it, my wife was like, "Wait, what is? Isn't that the?" I was like, "Yeah, I know. It's the same symbol. I don't get it." I was like, "They're like basically the same
hold on. I actually realize it now that people will actually think my ESO Ouroboros hoodie is actually a Game of Thrones merch.
Yeah. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's not good.
So.
I don't like Game of Thrones enough to wear the merch and represent.
I love Game of Thrones. So.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I wouldn't represent it outside.
I would.
Yeah. Of course you would. Yeah. You are the... I can see you, like, being a major player in a Game of Thrones situation. Digging everyone's grave.
Yeah.
Just stabbing everyone in the back.
Yeah. I'm a total Littlefinger. I totally am.
Yeah, like, you have a little finger potential. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, actually, wouldn't you be? Was he the? Oh no, he had amassed quite a fortune with our hilarious nicknames that we were given earlier. And I was going to say, you get to be the resident tycoon, pretty much.
The master of coin. Yeah, no, this works.
You are literally the master of coin because of your high efficiency.
Yeah. I'm fine with this.
Okay,
this works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of are master of coins. Mm-hmm. But moving forward with the show and leaving Game of Thrones aside. So our first section, behind the scenes update. Now, we didn't really have any updates up until we actually tried starting the show. Now, initially, we thought, okay, Discord has been not good to us, so let's try Google Hangouts. It does not work. It's good audio quality-wise, but it just puts one video, one webcam at a time on the screen, full screen. So it doesn't work for our format, so we left that behind. We went back to Discord. However, for some reason, my Discord, and my Discord only, on this specific PC, is not cooperating. It's just, audio is robotic. Even though they are hearing me fine on their end, I hear them robotic. It's lagging. It's like 10 frames per second. How does a chat application runs at 10 frames per second when full-on AAA games are running on ultra 60 frames per second smoothly? I do not know. But that's the case, so Aggelos, that is the reason Aggelos is hosting the show at the moment.
And I'm totally cool with running the show, like from a hardware perspective when I'm on, which is almost every week anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but it makes
not like you dodged out.
It does. It makes things harder for you at the end because then you have to re-download it.
Yeah, I have to download it, and then I can't control the flow as well. It's kind of, I mean, I can, but it's how to say it? You are a bit disorienting, So there's that. But I mean, we can manage. We've been doing this for a long time, I suppose.
5 or 6 years now, I guess. Yeah, it's been.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing it for 5 or 6 years. I think I'm at like 3 at this point.
Maybe. Yeah.
There's been a couple episodes of the show that have come out.
1 or 2. 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But if anyone knows any like lightweight, just to the point video conference application. It could be paid, it could be free. I'm willing to pay for it now.
There's actually a really good one that I've heard of called Zoom. I've been contemplating using it myself.
Zoom. I've also heard about Zencaster.
I think I've heard... Yeah, we should check those out.
We can do that. Because there's a free version you can use of Zoom, but it cuts off after 50 minutes. I just haven't had an option to test it, so maybe we should test it one night and see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
like tomorrow night, if you guys are available for like 15, 20 minutes, whatever, we can.
I mean, we can even do it next week if we just reconnect the show, like reconnect a new call in Zoom on Tales the next time it happens. If we want to do it next week and just give it a shot, see what it's like.
Yeah. Planning the show on the show.
I mean, anything that we can find in exchange for Discord.
Sure.
Because nothing makes sense. At this point in time, I'm not even gonna try making sense of it because I've ran out of ideas.
Yeah, Discord is slowly breaking you.
But yeah, that's what we are dealing behind the scenes. We are also starting to again live stream our pre-shows because our pre-shows are usually long. It's over half an hour, but recording them and merging them together is a bit difficult because when I'm recording them, it's like I'm silent and I'm constantly stopping and restarting the recording to adjust audio levels, troubleshoot the technical side. So it's always bits and pieces. But if we stream it, it's one block of recording.
Can I ask
Yeah.
Can I ask this question? Are we doing this the way that I do the From the Ashes post shows, where it's a separate video that we release for live viewers and supporters? Because that's what I do with our post shows. I actually only people who get to see those are the people who show up live. Our support us via Twitch, our Patreon. That way, it's a bonus for them. Or encourages people to show up live, but since it's your pre-show, I'll let you decide. But that's how I do post shows, as a special bonus for people who take the extra effort to show up. No, I make people show up. If they show up live, they get to see the post show. Otherwise, it's reserved for supporters of the network.
I guess we can. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of want to get it to everyone. But it's also a good incentive for live show as well, I suppose.
If you want live show interaction, yeah. I mean, I've seen our FTA interaction has went up exponentially because people like the post shows. So when I started going, well, if you want to see a post show, you need to be there live, people started showing up live.
Yeah, possibly.
And then the people who support us get to see it even if they don't get to see it live, so...
Mm-hmm. I mean, either way, we are gonna be live streaming those because when I was a listener back when Thais was on the show, like this is the first time you guys started doing a live show, and I loved those pre-shows, man. They were at some point they were actually more fun than the show itself, I suppose. So. I don't know. Well, I think it would be fun to go back to that as well. But yeah, those are the behind the scenes stuff. And Musclehead said, "How about Skype?" We almost did that, but then Ag said, "Okay, I can host," and I was let's leave the troubleshooting for another night because
the Google Hangouts thing didn't go great. So
yeah,
it's like we can only try so many things before we run out of time to actually do something.
So, with that out of the way, Ag, by the way, if you have any emails or anything, can you look that up as well?
We have no emails, and we have no iTunes, but we do actually have new Patron supporters.
Oh, all right. Well, you can shout them out.
All right. We got to thank those who support us over at patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network, including our newest Patreon supporters, Jamie K and Adia. There you go.
There we go.
Well, thank you all who supports us like in any way they can. It's what.
Well, also, what is it? Rystrad Gamer? Is that how you pronounce that? Anybody know how to say that? I was going to say
Rystrad.
I always call it Ryastrad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rystrad.
I was going to say he resubbed literally while we were discussing our tech things. So.
And be sure if you are a supporter via either Twitch or Patreon to join the DCN Discord, where you gain access to all of our shows, at least 24 hours before the rest of the plebes. What, nothing?
All right.
Really?
No, I
was reading a comment from James Stein. So
also that's the official rank, plebe. No.
Plebe, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a higher rank. You get access, and then the best part is you can start talking about it in Discord. People are like, I haven't heard it yet, so.
Boilers.
So James Stein said, could go the way of Lore Seekers where the recorded version is only edited audio.
Yeah.
Honestly, I contemplated about it.
That's what we do for FTA.
Right, and theirs does have a nice crisp sound to it as well.
Really? Wait, you have video versions of FTA.
Yeah, but that's edited too. All the audio is remastered. Bloopers are taken out. Yeah, no, it's crisped up a lot from the live stream.
But here's the thing: if you edit the audio, take out things like you cut bits and pieces, isn't that visible on the video? Like the video just cuts off, and
I use transitions that kind of hide it, like gentle fades and whatnot.
Oh,
only star wipes.
Sneaky.
Just star wipe to all the different scenes.
Yeah, so there is a slight. Oh, look, but it's so you really have to be staring at it to realize it, and it's almost like, that's not that bad, But yeah, we actually our audio that you get released on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, that is edited audio where a lot of stuff is cut out. Audio is remastered, sound effects are added.
Sound effects? What type of sound effects do you add?
I add a whole tavern scene in the background so people hear crackling fires, mugs clinking.
I could do that as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was allowed to do that.
Yeah.
There, mugs.
Because we, as I say in our FTO, welcome to From the Ashes. We are reporting live from the Mighty Beard Tavern, which is a lore tavern in there. And so we have the audio to prove it. There's a nice gentle fire.
I like that idea. That actually sounds pretty cool.
Fire. We say warm yourself by the fire, but we don't have any fire.
We could.
Okay, from now on, you
do you want my audio?
You should have told me that I could go creative with this.
You could be as creative as you want.
Yeah, I feel like we need much more guar stomp sounds. We can just have a festive guar in the background.
From now on, I don't have Saturdays. It's editing time.
Yeah, all day.
Editing time.
You wonder after an FTA show, I normally don't get to bed till 2 or 3 in the morning, and the shows end at 11. There's a reason for that.
Also, Swampy, there's a dumpster fire every week. Maybe we shouldn't add more fires.
No.
That's a valid point.
You know what they say? Point. Fight fire with fire.
With fire, okay, yeah.
That it makes sense.
In the video, we could add like a smoke effect, so it looks like the tire fire that's going on just goes across the screen from time to time.
Yeah, but could work. It would work.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main thing for that is though, we should figure out how to get Promethean to get MP3 export from Audacity on Mac. 1 second, I have to mute myself to cough.
I don't have a Mac, so it's kind of difficult for me to, but I guess I can figure it out.
I brought my work laptop Mac home this weekend, so I'm gonna check it out. Also, I forgot to do a local recording of my own this week, so there is that.
Well, I got mine, so we're 1 for 3.
Well, I mean, I'm doing my local Audacity recording, but not the local video recording.
Yeah, that's what I forgot. I forgot my local Audacity recording.
Nailed it.
But you guys said my audio is fine, so everything is
Yeah, you sound fine.
Yeah.
See, honestly, here's the thing. Why is everything failing on my end?
Turkey.
No, but we are connecting from the same distance. So, like, I'm connected to US East server at the moment, 7,000 miles away.
Our server's not
And
held
for
together
some
with duct
reason-
tape and bubble gum.
You know, if you are not connecting to, Discord doesn't have servers in Turkey, right? It's in Europe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't assume it gets any closer than Europe.
Hey, how's the European mega server doing? I hear there's some issues there.
Fair enough.
Oh, ba-dum-bum. See, there's where your sound effect needs to be. The little drum.
Oh yeah, just get one of those.
Yeah, the servers are in Europe. You mean like the ESO mega server? I hear that's doing great.
Exactly. Just have that on one of those like stream deck things.
Yeah.
Have a sad trombone. Have a little drum thing. Yeah.
It's world's smallest violin.
Yep.
All right, game news.
Yeah, so I guess we technically could get Elder Scrolls stuff.
We can move on. So, for anyone who plays on PC would know, Elsewyr has released for the Master Race. But for consoles, unfortunately, it's gonna be, 2 weeks?
June 6th, I think. So yeah, probably about 2 weeks.
Oh, well, we have early access. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, beta test that for me. If I get any errors, I'm blaming both of you specifically.
But yeah, Elsewyr has gone into early access, what they are calling it, on PC, Mac, and as well as the update 22. And they added a lot of things as usual with the chapters. So what we got is obviously some place called Elsewyr. I don't know where it is. It's Elsewyr. It's someplace else.
Nice.
It's the place of cats. A lot of cats.
Tamriel's
basically.
litter box. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of different type of cats: humanoid cats, magic cats, buff cats, gym cats,
Swole cats.
Type of cat.
Yeah, none of them seem to do leg day at all, though. It's all like upper body work.
It's strange. I know, right?
I posted a video about how you can make any excuse for leg day from Bro Science, and it's perfect because the one guy's like, "Dude,
I love that video.
Dude, do you guys feel that? Do you feel?" And this is perfect for Elsewyr. Do you feel that? Runs outside, looks around. Yep. You see that, guys? Vernal equinox. Can't do it. No leg day today. Perfect for the cats.
I love that video.
Where did you post it?
It's in the games and gains section, I believe.
Games and I'm gonna watch it after.
Yeah, the Bro Science things. I haven't seen them in a while. Some of those used to just be, oh my god. Some of those are the greatest videos I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So Khajiits. Elsewyr is basically the homeland of Khajiits. So we get a lot of full Khajiiti storyline.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new trial called Sunspire, which I will probably not do in the next couple of years. We still are going through just the basic, base game trials at the moment as Dragonborns. A lot of, side quests. It's a huge zone. Is it actually? I want to launch the game. I don't have the game open. Ag, do you have the game on? Right?
I do.
Is it bigger or smaller than Vardenfell or Somerset?
Let me look.
Can you quickly check it on the map?
I got Khajiit hair in my mouth. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see,
only normal.
In the grand scheme of things. I've heard that it's very big, and from what I played of it, it's decently big. But you also have the ravine, the scar across the middle that seemed like it added a verticality thing. So maybe straight mass,
right.
Oh,
as a whole isn't quite as big, but the center seemed like it had a lot to it, at least from what I played.
If you're looking at my camera right now, if you're watching on the YouTube, as you can see here, we got Vardenfell. Looks fairly large. The thing that's easiest to compare is we got Somerset and then Elsewyr. Honestly, Elsewyr... Somerset... Elsewyr doesn't look any bigger than any of the other zones in the AD.
Yeah.
It looks like
really
it's about the same size as Reaper's March.
Right, which I could see that, spatially, because then, like I said, you've got the scar through the middle that kind of, drops down to another level.
Okay.
Would that bring it to maybe more of like a... I was thinking maybe in the grand scheme of things, because again, I haven't extensively played it. I'm wondering if it's like Hrothgar sized or something like that.
I think it might be slightly bigger than Hrothgar,
but once
hey.
We are hearing the game audio.
Oh yeah, now I can hear it.
How are you managing to channel your game audio into your microphone, Ag?
I have no idea.
That's true. I was gonna say it wasn't playing
before.
On
screen share. It also
happy music.
It's sharing your audio, but no one else is hearing it. So you're hearing the audio because I'm sharing the screen with you.
Got you.
But it's muted for everyone else. So you guys are hearing
fun stuff.
Yeah, the
fun stuff. I was confused. I was like, what?
Yeah, no one else is hearing that. But
treatment from host to host, people.
Right. I've heard that the music to the zone is truly incredible. I haven't really heard much of it because I'm staying relatively blind to the entire thing. But I've heard the music is super, super good in the region. I'm kind of a music fan, to say the least, of these games.
Oh, I'm a big music fan, but can I say the very first thing that I heard was the opening theme to this, and it has the typical Elder Scrolls dun 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 dun. Yeah. But as soon as I heard it in a very the Khajiit theme, it kind of has that. Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's what I mean. It's just I love the twist they take to songs that you even know.
Yep.
But then they tailor them to the regions and stuff. I'm like, that is just such a cool way of doing it. Even if you're not going to do something entirely unique, which kind of almost makes sense that you wouldn't do something completely unique every single time when you're in the same game. Mm-hmm. So I like that they do the little twists on the same type of music.
But that's something they need to do. You could put your own spin, but it needs to have that theme.
Yes.
One of the biggest complaints I've had about ESO when it first came out was, anyone remember that the official soundtrack didn't have that dun dun? It didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Not until Hrothgar did we actually get a theme like that.
Yes, the original theme was a little more aggressive. It sounded almost more like a battle march than like the normal type of thing.
But it made it feel distinctly not Elder Scrolls.
Yes, which is ironic because I believe that was the only song that Jeremy Soule actually had direct impact on.
I think you're right.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was the only one that he and Brad Derrick worked on. And the rest has been Brad Derrick, and usually just Brad Derrick, with occasionally other people involved as well. Although he's done a fantastic job along with Untitled and like the three of them all do a great job even when they switch off. Like, it's like, yep, all three of you, I'm totally fine with making soundtracks. You're all fantastic at this.
When I got a chance to actually interview Untitled, he is a fantastic individual. I love talking to him. And at the time we were talking about Fallout 76, but that's when we found out that evening that he also did Blades. I'm like,
yes. Which Blades is steadily moving up as one of my favorite soundtracks. Like, that is just, man, do I love that soundtrack.
Yep.
It also kind of maybe helps that it gets, I mean, the title track I really love. There's a bunch of them that I really love, but the title track being that anytime I open the app to open a chest or do a daily login or something like that, it constantly plays the song. So I'm like, man, this is going to be ingrained in my skull forever.
Yep.
Man, I haven't touched Blades in a while. I guess I'll just leave it aside.
Must be nice for you guys.
Must be nice to have an option.
It keeps messaging me going, hey, you haven't opened up your chest this week. I know.
I'm aware of what I haven't been doing.
It is what it is. Also, Riastrad had a nice static.
I saw that.
15 way shrines in Vardenfell, 12 in Somerset, 7 in Elsewyr. Then again, Somerset in land size looks bigger than Vardenfell, yet it has less way shrines.
Way shrines.
So it's. I guess it's not entirely a metric, but it's still a good stat. I mean,
right? It might.
What are we gonna go? What are we gonna have next? Norway shrines, huh?
Well, we did have that discussion.
Yeah.
Maybe Ag is ahead of the curve on what they're doing. They're weaning people off way shrines.
Guess who was right? This guy.
If they bring back veteran ranks, though,
bunch of casual scrubs.
Throw my PlayStation out the window.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but if they wean you off of it, you won't realize it's happening till one day you're like, remember when we used to have way shrines?
Remember when they did the CP freeze and then suddenly we had these VRs? I don't know what these are.
They'll just rename it something different. They've already said they don't like how the champion points are working, so they've stopped that.
Right, so that's why we've got the hard freeze while they figure it out.
Yeah, you know? And the next thing we're going to get are going to be like prestige, and it's going to be VR ranks just renamed.
Good God.
Just you wait.
With the expansion, the Necromancer class also arrived, which I will be talking about in my tales because I've been leveling one.
Yeah.
We also got dragons, Ag's favorite.
Oh, no. My favorite is #NecroSexplar. We'll talk about that.
Oh, God. What have we done?
I love that reaction.
I think Icarus got a little too close to the sun. This is good.
Okay, we are gonna get to it in tales. I'm not gonna start this discussion now. We have a show. So we got
you see
dragons
smile?
who are. We have dragons. We have dragons who are fully lore friendly, all well plotted. I have actually no idea. I didn't check the main story yet. But we have dragons now as world events, which are actually very tough. I gotta admit.
So you've done them?
Which I did a couple. Yeah, I died.
Okay.
Basically, without my full-on tank, without my main character and my full-on tanking equipment, it's very easy to die. One mistake and boom, you are gone.
Okay, nice. Because I've been hearing they hit really hard, and I've been making a joke, which I think is now not going to so much be a joke as just what I do. I want to go over and just weapons at my side. I want to do the little kiss emote to its face and see if it can one-shot me since... just to see if it can.
I got one shot from it on PTS as a full necro tank.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention. I didn't block, and I just got one shot.
All right.
So
I'm glad to hear that because those things should be deadly. It's what I was hoping.
However, I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't blocking.
Well,
while I was paying attention, I just never experienced, I'm about to die.
Okay.
But I was on my pure tank as well, so there's that.
Exactly. I mean, if you're on a pure tank, I would expect you, it's one of the things that annoys me in some of the things, very specifically with Vet Black Rose, more than pretty much anything else, where I will be backhanded by a generic thing. And it's just okay, you're just some random plebe. How did you just smack me and do 44,000 damage to me? It's dude, I threw Molag Bal around an arena. I've destroyed all these other things. But you hit me and nearly one shot. If I didn't block, it's that's an 86,000 damage shot. Yeah. It's okay, that seems a tad ridiculous. Whereas a dragon, I can accept that. It's just the thing just smashed me.
So yeah, we have world event dragons, and that's pretty much the Elsewyr. But we also have the free update 22, which is the base game patch. They added a guild finder system where you can basically advertise your guild or find a guild that you want to join by going through a bunch of filters like social guild, PvP, PV, trading, all that kind of stuff.
Can I say, I looked at this and it's fantastic. It's just sort of a shame that I kicked everyone else out of Hands of Fate because we've closed the chapter. Because we have the Discord, why I have the guild spot. But now there's all these different tools for recruiting, which would have made it so much easier.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I mean, you can always restart, you know.
I would, but my co-GM left me for different servers, so.
Well, your co-GM lives in an entirely different time zone across the world.
It's not my fault.
So it's not my fault either.
It's time's fault.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is. We just need a time stop.
Yeah.
Or entire world gets on a unified time zone. So I go to work at night.
Or those flat Earth people could, be right, and then we'd all be on the same time because, Earth's flat.
Oh my God.
Actually, yeah, that is. I can't. No, it still wouldn't be. Maybe, I don't know.
Look, I don't want to get.
I
too
just
much
couldn't
into the
science
flat Earth
it,
people, because if you believe that, you're wrong. But the main thing that
is a donut. Come on,
Nern's flat. Prove me wrong.
My favorite thing that I ever saw was on one of the support groups. It was people from around the globe are starting to realize that the Earth is flat, and the number one comment was, "Please think about what you just said."
Yeah, but also Nern. Wait, is Nern flat?
Actually, it might be.
It could be. We've never really seen the
because. The planets as we see them are not planets. They're infinite realms of oblivion shrunk down so the mortal mind can realize it. The sky is ethereous. It's possible that Nern is flat.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Asgard from MCU, from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is like a flat rock.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to remake Hands of Fate into Flat Nern Society.
See, that would attract that would attract people.
Yeah.
That would definitely attract more people than Hands of Fate.
Probably.
FNS.
Yeah.
Flat Nern Society.
Flat Nern Society.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that exists. Hold on. Flat Nern Society. That gotta exist. It exists. It exists. It's actually a guild or a community. I don't know. Or wait. What is this? It has a Facebook page. It has a Reddit page.
Wow, this is
like flat.
Oh boy,
this is a thing.
What have we done?
What? Yeah, what did you just find?
I feel like this is going to be the show, discussing if Nern is flat.
4.5 hours later, we're 2,000 pages deep into Reddit.
It's just a single image, though. I don't get. Oh, okay. So they basically got up to a very high spot and took a screenshot to prove it's. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to research this on my own time. Swampy says derailed. Swampy, we were never on the rails.
Swampy, this is 100% on rails, okay? Because we got to know if Nern is flat.
Well, look at it this way, all right?
You just said exactly the opposite thing, Zach.
No.
So, wait a minute. Way shrines let you travel around.
Yeah.
Does time pass in between when you travel to way shrines?
Yes.
No.
Because I was going to say that could let us know, if, I don't know, Somerset
way shrines magic?
I don't know. Well, if Somerset and Vardenfell are both daytime at the same time, then there are no time zones, which could mean that Nern is flat.
You cracked it. No, but
what happens if do they have different cycles? Is it?
It could still be a globe with just a very big sun.
I was gonna say it could just be all right,
but it's not even a sun though.
Well, I was thinking a really tiny planet. But
it could be a very tiny planet, yeah.
But there's no planets.
Or a massive planet, or a very massive
But
planet.
there's no planets because the round spheres are actually infinite.
Holes. Yeah, they're holes.
The stars in the sun are holes through the realm of Mundus into Aetherius.
No. Those are stars. The holes are the stars where the small fellas
and the
small
planets
fellas
are the Adric realms, which are infinite spaces But since the mind can't actually figure out what an infinite space is, it makes it round.
Okay, but that doesn't mean Nirn can't be actually a round object.
No, it's flat. Because everything is contained within it. Because outside of it is nothing. The void. So we have Mundus contained within a giant void.
Okay. In a smaller giant circular object, it can happen.
We've turned this into a really weird physics lore thing.
This isn't even, like, we are not even presenting arguments. We are like, no, this is it.
We've literally determined that this is how this works.
Yep.
And now we're just trying to force physics to make it okay.
Correct.
I'm gonna invite the new lore master to the show, and I'll be like, we have one question. We brought you all the way here for one question.
Is Nirn flat?
Is Nirn
flat? And he just disapprovingly shakes his head and ends the call.
Clearly, he is one of the guys, with the conspiracy because he doesn't want everyone to know that Nirn's really flat.
Oh, yep.
Okay,
he's essentially part of NASA for Tamriel.
We've opened up some real doors
the
here.
The TESO, Tamrielic Aerospace.
TESO.
Yeah, because the whole round thing, the pictures of Earth that's round, are fake.
All right, news. We still have some.
Yeah, this started with dragons.
From Guild Finder to... Oh my god. Anyway,
wow, that was a stretch.
Weapon artifacts came to Cyrodiil. So these are basically... If you are not Emperor, you can still, if you're lucky, grab one of these, or at least grab the one that is in the battlefield, because there is only one. You can... So it's sort of like a counter to the Emperor. It gives you a whole new skill bar, and it makes you insanely powerful.
Oh, it gives you a new skill bar?
Yes. Your skill bar changes. So every weapon has its own skill bar.
Oh, cool.
At least that's what I read, but now I'm not sure.
I want to. I really want to see this.
The first warrior to reach the weapon artifact and use it gains a deadly new skill line. So you get a skill line, but it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't replace your skill bar entirely on the spot, but
it's probably like a werewolf type of deal or something like that.
Yeah,
like, here's your new bar while you're holding it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I mean, I haven't gotten into Cyrodiil yet in the Elsewyr, so I don't know. Also, Somerset moved to the Crown Store just like Morrowind.
Yep.
So if you can now access it as a DLC, yeah.
Yep, and if you're subbed, you get access to it for part of your ESO Plus, which is really awesome for those who haven't experienced it yet. And I guess theoretically that means jewelry crafting is open to everyone now? I think.
I'm not sure about jewelry crafting, but someone did mention in Discord that they were like, hey, I'm suddenly able to craft jewelry. What just happened?
Oh, and, okay. So then, yeah, hopefully
so
that means it does. And because that seems like that would be a little nitpicky, as opposed to the Warden, I understand, kind of like separating. But like jewelry crafting, that would be a weird thing to sell.
No, I think it's either ESO Plus or just base game now.
Yeah.
Ah, my throat.
Yep. Ark's passing away. All right.
Why don't you take over?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me bring this up. Just catch up to where you were. Dragon Hunt.
Never mind, I'm back.
Okay.
Ag just didn't do... Ag ignored me completely.
To be fair, he did warn you before the show started that was his plan.
Yeah.
He is really here for
Ag that he would just take over with his podcast stuff, but he was like,
I am now waist deep in Murkmire, okay? I am sinking into this.
That's a shame.
Albeit I did find a quest line that I thought was pretty cool, so...
Yeah, there are some really good ones.
You could have just talked about your Murkmire stuff, what you were actively doing, instead of just letting there be awkward silence to edit out.
You know, since you're dedicating all tomorrow to edit, you could take care of that.
Be good practice.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, we really need that sound thing.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Anyway, so a little bit more details into the dragons.
They're wyverns.
They're
W dragons.
W dragons.
Yes.
I hate you both.
The official term.
W dragons.
So I'm gonna read the quote directly from the article. Dark anchors always spawn in the same place, and even when they aren't there, you know they're coming back. With dragon hunts,
W dragon hunts.
things are a little bit more involved, explains Sean Wicks, ESO's design lead. They come from somewhere else, and you never know quite where they are until the end. So they move around the map all the time, and they can land pretty much one of the many landing spots that they have, and you have to run to them. But they usually are alive, even though you are running there from the other end of the map, because they have a massive health pool. They are also very difficult to kill, as we mentioned earlier. And it's in the article they say the other important distinction between dragon hunts and previous world events is the difficulty. Dragons are massive, powerful beasts capable of assaulting you with tooth and claw, utilizing breath attacks, and even summoning monsters to fight for them. As a result, it's extremely difficult to take one on alone. Note that by extremely difficult, we actually mean almost impossible. So I'm really curious.
Hold my beer. I'm gonna sexplore this.
It's just not gonna happen. So if anyone actually manages to solo a dragon, I think it will be one of the like emperor grade min-maxing, calculating, formulating people. And even then, they say almost impossible.
But there's no dragons in Cyrodiil, and that's the only place the Emperor buff works.
No. I meant like that level of dedication, but outside of PvP.
Don't put that on me.
You're a tank. You'll never be able to solo a dragon. That's just...
Oh man, that was like. Well, actually, you've done both the world bosses and Murkmire, yes?
No, I don't remember.
There's the guy who summons just tons and he's the necromancer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the most tedious thing. I might have actually had that on a Tales a little while ago, but I posted the end of the video of me just teabagging him because I was on super early in the morning before work, and no one came to help me. And I believe my end clock timer was 18 minutes and 7 seconds or something like that before I whittled him down on my tank.
Oh, God.
And I was just like, why am I even doing this? And then it became like, you know what? You can't kill me. I'm going to beat you through attrition. And eventually it just boiled down to me shield bashing him against a wall until he eventually died. And I'm like, I just wasted like a solid half hour of my life proving that I could do that.
Except for with the dragons, you run out of time and the server gets reset for maintenance. You're like, I've
got to do it within 2 weeks.
Also, another thing is, they land on like tall rocks, and if you are not ranged, you can't really do anything. You just stare at them like, come down here. And you hope that they come down and you can stab them with your sword. So what you get from dragons, you get something called dragon blood bile, crafting ingredients. Dragon blood one. I completely forgot the name. It's basically restores stamina. One of the 4 things that it has. One of them is restore stamina. I don't know the other 2.
Oh, the dragon blood, dragon bile, either or.
Yeah. The effect that they have. There we go. One of the 4 effects is restore stamina. I don't know the rest, but they're basically used for crafting bunch of things, including alchemy. At least dragon blood.
Mm-hmm.
You get the jewelry for Elsewyr's overland item sets. You get half digested containers where you get potions, drinks, food.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, why? That doesn't sound healthy at all.
Yeah.
Also, recipes, furnishing plans, repair kits, and other stuff. And trinkets and treasures that you can sell for gold, much like thievery.
It's also probably kind of like the undaunted plunder you get out of like vet trials and stuff like that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, basically they are giving a bunch of rewards, and I guess it's not an entirely boring way of trying to get furnishing plans as well. Although I don't know the drop rate, but I already got some Elsewyr stuff, and it goes for, even if it's I think green furnishing plan, it's like a duck, just plain woods.
Okay.
And it goes for like 30k.
Yeah,
it's gonna sell. But
as soon as something's new, people immediately are just like, "Oh my god, it's worth everything ever!" It's like,
I mean, I kind of need to farm them for a bit because I just dropped all my money on bank inventory upgrade for the new character.
Makes sense.
So that costs like 300k, I think. It's a bit hurtful. But yeah, those were the news. So, oh no, I see that someone added Blades Town Hall. I assume
that was me. I actually almost forgot about that. This isn't super big or really that important, but just the note of it is an Elder Scrolls thing. Blades did their first quote-unquote town hall, which is their ESO update or whatever. I mean, that's their thing for Blades. And they addressed more of the stuff that people are wanting changed, curious on. So jewelry is on the way. They didn't give an exact date. They kind of alluded to what's coming down the pipeline next. So the things that they're changing from that was they are bringing jewelry into the game. They are looking into expansions to story, which I am super pleased about because I did not think that was really going to be a thing. But obviously, I was not the only person spamming their feedback form with "give us more story, don't be afraid of lore, make it all fit," because they said that that's going to be a focus coming down the line, although that wasn't originally what they were looking for. And the other thing, which take this for what it is, and they are fixing the difficulty of some of the enemies, trolls, wisps, stuff like that, which are apparently too hard for people. Which is really awkward because the last thing I posted in regards to difficulty is how do I make the game harder so I get better drops. But apparently that is not the correct question to be asking because apparently those things were skewed in the wrong direction. So they're fixing them. And the only thing related to that is I kind of stopped getting experience except for mission completion and occasionally killing enemies, which I thought might have been a glitch. It's just I'm too powerful, I guess, is what I've come to the conclusion of. And except for very high, they rate the difficulty in skulls between 1 and 5 skulls. They're not very accurate. So people are like, oh, I'm going to do this 2-skull mission, and they'll get completely trucked. So they're correcting that. I guess there's something on their end where it's not being accounted properly. And they're changing that. And as a result, that I think will fix my problem where everything is basically 1 skull to me and I can't make anything go above like 2 skulls. So I think that's the problem is I can't gear to the level. Not necessarily that I'm good. It's just I've like overpowered the area that it attends to. So I think they'll be fixing that hopefully sooner rather than later.
Right. Also, a question from Swampy in chat. So these dragon fights, is it like the world bosses where if you have more than 12 people in the group, only the top 12 damage dealers get the drops? I do not know, but I wouldn't assume so, because the entire point of dragons is doing them with a lot more people than you do world bosses, dolmens, and things like that. So if you limit the number of drops to the top 12 damage dealers, then you basically destroy the reason or the meaning of having a world event that requires more than 12 people.
Right. So, that's actually a really good point that I did not consider. And also, if it was done that way, I probably won't be seeing any drops.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's if it's that way, I run around as a tank.
Yeah, my DPS test on a tank is, I believe, 5,700 when I'm really like, oh, okay, I'm doing
really?
like
That's good. Mine is like 900.
So I have two different ways of doing it. If I'm all buff, it goes way down to like 2,000 maybe. But I actually have an offensive rotation for my speed runs with people on my tank where I move a couple of skills, and most of the time we don't need the extra durability. Would prefer the extra burn. Right. So when I do that, I believe the highest I've was 5,700 tank or whatever. But that's also me not screwing up, which I like to do quite frequently.
I mean, if I dealt any less damage, I probably would start healing the bosses. So. Anyway, so right. that was the news part, which brings us to the Tales part, and I see that you got quite a lot, Lotus. So why don't you start ahead?
Sort of, kind of. Most of them aren't too elaborate, and a few of them are in real life. Tales related to Elder Scrolls. Right. So the big one is my N-Gage arrived in the mail the other day, which I posted from the account. It's charged up. I was going to play it before work this morning while I relaxed on my couch with the dog, and I was very let down to realize that you need a SIM card in order to play games, which I think is very weird because you don't connect to the internet to play. Apparently you can play Shadowkey co-op, though, which I can't even imagine what kind of an abomination that is.
Can N-Gage even connect to the internet?
Apparently via Bluetooth. You can Bluetooth two N-Gage. No, I've been reading the manual. So you can Bluetooth two N-Gages together and co-op Shadowkey.
What kind of technology were we using back then?
I have no idea.
I remember wanting an N-Gage, so it's not like I don't remember those times. I remember those times. I just, at this point, I don't understand the technology that we used back then. It's
so exactly. It doesn't really make any sense. Actually, hold on. Well, I'll grab the thing. This is right here.
Yeah. Go ahead. To me, it's like Warhammer 40k. So in Warhammer 40k, I'm just making up stuff now while Lotus comes back. In Warhammer 40k lore, he's back. He's coming back.
It's true, I'm back.
There. Oh, all right. So in Warhammer 40k lore, there is technology from before. So Warhammer 40k, as the name suggests, it's year 40,000 something. And people you can travel around in the galaxy, but by opening portals through sheer force of will, not using technology. And you have all these space marines with 3 lungs, 2 hearts, I think 3 kidneys, and 2 livers.
Really get drunk with 3 kidneys.
Basically giant dudes in advanced space armor and, mechas, all those things. You have all those things, like spaceships. No one knows how they work. They are from like year 20, 30,000 technology. Anyone who knows how they work is pretty much gone. So no one really knows how they work. And the only people who can make them work is basically these dudes with several robotic arms and stuff. And they don't really fix them or make them work by technology. They basically just bless them and pray until they work or something like that. That's how I see the N-Gage times technology now. Like, I know they work. I can use them. I don't understand how they work. Also, Warhammer 40k, it's a fun lore. I would recommend reading up on it. There's a lot of weird stuff going on there. But yeah, go ahead with your Engage. Show us.
All right, so this will be somewhat video based. So I apologize if you're just listening to the audio version. I won't harp on this stuff too much, but So the N gauge is a weird thing where if you see the thing, it's incredibly small. It's a tiny plastic taco with a really tiny screen.
Oh, look at it. I remembered it being
like
bigger.
compared to my hand, it's as big as my finger. That's about it. Now I kind of have big hands, but like it's not that big. Like this thing is real small. And to install games, like to play the game, you have to take the entire back of it off. And you put the game next to the battery. Because some engineering whiz decided that that's how you do things. The SIM card also goes in there. And I was curious where I was going to get a SIM card. Luckily, my buddy managed to already jump on that grenade and was like, oh, I got this. I've got an old BlackBerry. We'll use it as a dummy SIM card and trick it into thinking that you're connected. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend so that I can finally use it. Side note as to might not be able to read this, but 1 to 2 players. It has a co-op mode, so I guess co-op has been in an Elder Scrolls game before ESO.
Oh, ba-dun-dun.
It was Skyrim together. We had it all along. We just needed N gauges.
Yeah, everyone has to get an N gauge.
Yep. And then the other thing that I found that was kind of interesting, because they always give you the maps to show you the regions. Well, there is an actual little teeny tiny cardboard like paper map. That. And it's got Dragonstar Arena to the south down in Craglorn. It's got the Crypt of Hearts up there. It's actually got this stuff all mapped out, just in a really condensed version, which is ridiculous. So that's been pretty entertaining. The only thing that I found when I was reading the manual was it goes through and gives you a little blurb about all the races and what their bonuses and stuff are. There are no Orsimer. They don't exist in this game at all.
Really?
Yep, all the other races are there.
Now, if only they could have done that with the Altmer.
Well, that was exactly what I would say. I was like, they kept the Ultimer, but kind of just no Orsimer, just no reference to them at all. There's 8. Or Imperials, so there's 7 races.
Again, I'm not really seeing a problem.
Yep. So that's the Shadowkey stuff. Let's see. ESO, I haven't done much except I'm doing writs and kind of random achievements just because I've been busy. So I haven't played too much. The only random achievements, I'm trying to get that one for selling like 1 million gold of stolen goods so that you can get the Scrooge McDuck style gold piles. I'm getting close to that. I need about 100.
Stealing 1 million gold worth of items.
You have to fence 1 million gold of stuff.
So,
and you can then buy literal stacks of gold to put in your house.
Yeah, but I don't make 1 million gold through normal means, let alone selling stuff.
I'm at about 880,000 right now.
So 100 million. No, 1 million.
1 million. God,
divided by 100. You have to steal 10,000 green items.
That's not. Yeah,
it's not that bad.
I could see that. I mean, I've picked over. Think of the amount of
your inventory space is 200. You have to.
It's not meant to be done in a day.
Yeah, it's.
You have to replace your inventory 50 times.
Well, plus also
refill your inventory 50 times.
Even fully upgraded Ledgermain, you can only fence. I believe it's 140 or 160 items per day.
Something like that. Yeah.
So
hold on, you have to do this for 62 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why?
So
not worth it.
Well, other than being kind of an achievement whore, I want to. This brings me into the other thing I've been doing, where Arkhaniir is decorating his Alinor castle that we were given from Summerfall. I gave that to Guarnier at this point, and I've decided that that's my new housing project.
Oh my god.
He needs a giant mountain of gold to go with his Emperor's throne that I bought for him.
I mean...
I have never approved of anything as much as I do this.
So
I gotta say, I hate you, but I also admire your dedication. Doing the most tedious things in the game for a meme.
Yep.
This is advanced dedication. I am not this dedicated in my real life. Like, not curious. Towards my career, not towards my life, nothing.
Well, I'm curious. I'll have plenty of pictures when I finally finish. It's kind of a slow process. That place is freaking huge.
Yes,
it is. It's really cool looking, even though the art style's not my thing because of the whole Altmer deal. But it is good. Lord, is it big? And
do I have that house?
Because of,
yeah, I should.
Yeah, you were there for Summerfall.
I don't even know where it's at.
So it's.
No. Here's
Artaeum.
The thing. You don't even need to.
Oh, it's in Artaeum.
Already completed it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a full Altmeri design palace. It's.
Oh yeah, I have
pretentious. It's annoying.
But you can't port to it? That's weird.
You can once you've discovered it the first time.
I don't think I've ever been there. That's the thing.
I specifically had to go there, so you have to go through. Remember when you have to go through the destroyed ruins?
Yep,
all the way through them. Once you go there you're allowed to fast travel back. It was the same problem I had.
By the way, I have a question.
Sure.
Ag, did you just hear Lotus robotic?
No.
Or me robotic?
No.
What is happening?
Everyone has been pristine.
This is the God. Yeah, this is weird.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so that's the Tales of Arkhaniir, because I like to slip those in. He hasn't been forgotten, been busy, but that's his slow roll goal. Then
you're now more accomplished than the real Arkhaniir. That's the sad part.
That is unfortunately true.
Can't even deny. He's like, that is accurate.
So hopefully, I was gonna say, I'll be looking to some better home designers than myself for a few things. But yep, that's my next housing project in game. Just because I have all those extra mats and stuff like that, so I figured I might as well do something with them since I don't have Elsewyr yet. Then the other things that I have are, I played some more Blades just because it's a fun little side distraction, but I haven't played as much. I got my town to its max level.
Must be nice.
And I'm working on making dragon plate armor because I haven't had any drop yet. It takes some work, but I don't know. I'm not trying to bypass the game, so the fact that it takes some work to build it doesn't seem like a negative to me, but a lot of people don't like that. You also don't even remotely need it. I'm already so over the top durable. This is like going to double my armor too. My thing is, I just think it looks awesome. It's like a modified version of the Skyrim one, but it looks... There's dragon scale too, but I like the heavy armor, so...
Right.
Working on building that. And the only quest-related anything from Blades that I wanted to mention was it procedurally generates the dungeons for jobs. The quest ones seem like story quest things. Those seem pre-made. But jobs seem to be like randomly done. So you kind of play whatever it is. And it's happened to me twice now where it was like, you need to kill the Dremora that holds this whatever, like pair of Dwemer boots or something like that. Like, kill him and take his boots. And I'm like, okay. And I went into the dungeon, and he literally ran down the hall before I even took one step forward. I decapitated him, and was like, congratulations, you won. And I was like, wow, this is the easiest job I've ever done. So, RNG fail on that part. It was just kind of funny how easy it was. I haven't posted it yet, but my 25th anniversary lithograph arrived. I'm having it professionally framed, and then I'll show people what it looks like. It is so pretty. It is super pretty. I believe I got number 281 was my number out of 300.
There's only 300 made of those.
Yeah, they made 300 of them apparently because it's listed at the bottom out of the amount out of whatever. Very cool looking, and I brought it to the place to have it framed, and they brought over, like, as soon as they saw that it was numbered, they brought over a manager And we're like, yeah, we need somebody with a little more experience to do this because this has like the inability to be duplicated, I assume. I was like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. So they started matching the colors in the art to how the frame will look, and then tried to make it look faded so that it looks like it's like an old style frame to go around it. So I'm really excited for the way it looks in the end. They went all out. I was like, well, this is awesome. So I'm very excited to get that back, and I believe it's probably about another week or so.
Gotta love when someone does their job.
I was like so impressed.
And beyond,
it wasn't cheap, but it's like one of those things. How many times am I going to do this? So it's I'm going to have one lithograph. So.
Right.
Before they release these every year, so you have to buy another one.
Yeah, the 26th anniversary lithograph. Damn it. And then the only other thing I'm going to do, which will be less involved going forward, but we get really, really high in. Here's your tie-in for our social media. If you don't already follow Tales of Tamriel on Twitter, we run this weekly poll that I've been doing, and I just ask random Elder Scrolls related questions. And a lot of people seem to enjoy these. I did it kind of as a joke at the start, but I was like, I like answering poll questions, so maybe other people do too. Apparently the answer is yes. So if you would like to be involved with our polls, I just throw out random ones each week. And I figured I would just mention some of the questions and then what we got as results just real quick. Normally it will just be one per week. I've been doing this for a while, so I just kind of took all of them and I just go a quick run through. It started way back, and I might have mentioned this one, where I did a vote on where does your main character claim allegiance.
Ebonheart
and
Pact.
The Ebonheart, yes, and the Ebonheart Pact won with 41%. Daggerfall came in second at 30%, and Aldmeri directly where it belongs in last place at 29%, which makes me feel happy.
This is completely an objective poll and has nothing to do with the fact that we built our entire community around Ebonheart Pact and
certainly not
ridiculed every Aldmeri person.
100%.
Can I
clearly?
Can I state that I believe that the Elder Scrolls fan base, especially the ESO fam, are some of the smartest people in existence, as proven by this poll. Well, I should say about 41% of people are really smart.
And I will accept the 30% who haven't found the way yet, but they at least help us most of the time. And also, I'm pretty sure I run into more than 29% population in that yellow banana zerg that keeps hitting my wall of troops most of the time.
That's the entire population, though. Like that's like literally everybody.
Yeah. One of our other polls was, do you like the new easier way of dungeons to the veteran version, which we had a long discussion on that. And the community is apparently voicing exactly what the game did, where people prefer just the difficulty and not our approach of nobody should have these, probably including us, because we want just the challenge, like we want the full challenge thing. Apparently 74% of the voting population on that one prefers us to just have a skin related to a difficulty, which is, I guess that's probably why they changed it. They have the numbers to this, so it makes sense. It's more inclusive, so I get it. Like I understand.
I wish
it.
Give the skin for veteran, but replace add something new for all the achievements, like Sunspire Trial. If you complete just the veteran Sunspire, you get the skin.
Yes, but I love that.
Everything you get a mount.
Yes, that I think is
that's
the best
way
solution.
To go.
Yep, give something for something and give something more.
Sunspire is a step in a good direction from my perspective.
All around Sunspire seems like a good addition.
Except that I really hate that skin and mount. The way
those are not my style
irrelevant.
either. That's not my style. I wouldn't use those, but at the same time,
it's nice that they're being rewarded.
Exactly.
Gallisner absolutely adores those. They're favorite. If you've been on Twitter
get enough.
or anywhere.
He asked actually if he could just buy them straight up in the crown store for extra crowns.
He's gonna put my face on something.
Yeah, he's not gonna be overly happy.
Yeah.
So some of these are a little more specific to the time. So the only other one that I really wanted to mention, and like I say, I'll just kind of mention when we do them going forward, was kind of a more open-ended one, because like I say, a lot of them are kind of specific. Was have you ever played a numbered Elder Scrolls game? Which amazingly, 44% of people said they have not played a numbered Elder Scrolls game. Meaning they've played ESO, they've played Blades, or they've played one of the weird spin-offs. Most likely they've just played ESO. That to me is pretty crazy to think about. Even from the small like installed base of 5,000 people we interact with. That's nuts to think that ESO is your first Elder Scrolls game ever. I just assumed everybody came from Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion, something.
No. I mean, just an example we know. I think Casual Ranger, he met Elder Scrolls universe with Elder Scrolls Online, for example. And not even at launch, if I remember correctly. Like, even later on.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Yes, and now he's like huge Imperial lore person as well. So yeah, Elder Scrolls Online did bring in a lot of non-Elder Scrolls people into the universe.
Yeah, so that one was very interesting. One of the polls was, do you consistently play with ESO Plus or not? Because I figured that would be kind of interesting to see. And there's also occasionally a stupid response that I put in these things because these are not super serious. Whereas ESO Plus is life is 69% of the population, which I get. Like, and this was a rather large voting pool of 250 people just in this poll alone. And then I had only occasionally was 20%, and then what's an ESO Plus was 11%. So like that is
my sweet summer children.
That is a lot of people. They are consistently having sub to them as well as other stuff, which is pretty impressive for a game with an optional sub. They're clearly making it well enough that people want to sub. And then the only other one that I'm going to mention out of all is, because I was blown away by this answer, but it was brought up that I guess it makes sense, is when playing ESO, do you run in a group or do you play the game solo? And I could not believe, like, I just assumed maybe it'd be about 50-50 or something like that. And it was overwhelming with 14% of people play this game grouped regularly, or the 86% of people who play the game solo. True. That is nuts to me. I mean, it makes sense as people have kind of chimed in either on the poll. I mean, you guys are obviously, you do these. If you have interest, feel free to like comment or whatever in the section below it. But I can't believe that many people don't group. Like,
the game
group even when I'm not
exactly. It actively is harmful to group. It is easier and actually offers better rewards if you simply do it by yourself.
It's crazy. Like, I guess it never dawned on me.
Actually, no. Rewards don't change.
Yeah, they do.
You even get
if you do the random pugs. Yeah, but not playing with people that actually mean something. You don't get all those rewards if you do a preformed group, do you?
Which content?
Dungeon finders, anything like that.
Whether or not they intend you to, we go in and we just DPS is a healer, and then we hit find like do your random or whatever, and it just immediately procs us like, you have a full group, congratulations.
But if you have a full group, you don't get the bonuses for the randoms.
No, you do.
No, you can. You can force it to.
You can still use Dungeon Finder, and it still gives you the bonuses.
Yeah, we run a random. And it's just like, we're totally because sometimes we do it when we're doing challenges, be it on stream or elsewise. We do it just because you get a 5% damage modification buff if you use Group Finder for things, as opposed to walk into the dungeon yourself just on foot. So usually when we blind do the vet dungeons, that's what we'll do. Or if we're doing a hard mode or a speed run or something like that, then 5% extra damage, it's not anything huge, but when you're trying to do a challenge, every little bit counts.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're dropping like 45k plus damage, 5% of that's notable.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do the speed runs alone, that extra 5% is notable.
Yeah, that's also true. But
I mean, our main DPS Geo gets very upset when we don't use Dungeon Finder. Sometimes it bugs out, and we are like, okay, you know what? Instead of trying to deal with the bug, let's just port in. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, because then you don't get the rewards.
Yeah, no, not because of the rewards, but his DPS goes down because he doesn't get the buffs either.
Maximum use.
Yeah, he's like sulking in the corner from then on. He's like, I'm not doing 100k DPS now. He's not doing 100k DPS. He's like 50k, I believe.
Yeah, sounds.
I can just bring him in a dungeon, and he covers up for 3 different DPSs.
It's always nice when you stumble into a pug that is like that. I mean, that's how I've met one of my trial guilds. Was I went in, and one of them faked that he was a healer, because people do that all the time. Which, again, I don't really encourage that unless you know the people you're with, or you can solo the dungeon. I mean, I guess, and then that's fine too. But in that situation specifically, one of our dudes dropped, and there was 2 of the DPSs who seemed very good, and me, and we were at the end of Vet Mazatoon, and we queued, and nobody would pop. Like, it was just sitting there because nobody wants to do Mazatoon. One of the guys goes, well, should we just try to do it, or should we quit? And I said that if you guys can kill it, I'll hold it. And they were like, okay, what about book? And they hit hard mode, and we did it without wiping try. So it was just the 2 damage and me. And they were like, I can't believe that worked. I was like, yeah, how much damage do you guys do? Like, good God. Like, that was like a full team of people. And they were like, oh, you know, one of them was like, oh, I do like, I think it was like 58k. I'm like, what kind of monster are you? He's like, I'm more impressed that you just stood there and took all that abuse. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm getting hit in the face. You're doing rotations and stuff. So they invited me to Trials Guild. Got some good Trials clears done with them. They were very good. So,
to be honest, I found that...
poor Heart's choking to death.
I found that pug groups perform better if the healer is gone. That is my experience. That is my full experience. Whenever the healer quits and I convince the group to just, let's try without the healer, they do a lot better when there's a healer.
Well, that was your thing with Frostbolt, right? Was you almost
exactly, yeah.
It's got to be that extra level of pressure where, like, all right, don't screw off so much. Like, you've got to pull your weight. So, like, it's got to be a mental thing, because that's interesting.
Yeah.
That people
I actually kind of want to try it more. Like, bring my own healer into a pug group, and then like, okay, quit now. Act like
all right, bail.
bail. Yeah, and then I'll be like, oh, you know, let's try, guys. Let's try. Let's see what happens.
But yeah, that is it for me. Going forward, I figure if the I've got plenty of goofy little poll ideas. Feel free to check us out. I usually throw one up mid to beginning of the week, something related to the news at hand or whatever. Feel free to let us know your opinions on stuff, and we'll kind of just review the results going forward, and I can actually keep up with them, since people have asked me a lot of the times, like, because it gets buried in the Twitter algorithm after a while. People are like, what are the results of that? It's like, oh yeah, I guess you guys wouldn't see all of that just constantly popping back up, so...
And yeah, so Ag, you have been silently playing ESO in the background as we've been doing a show here.
I have.
By our own.
You've been secretly getting Tales.
Yeah.
What you been doing?
Well, I mean, earlier in the week, I contacted this subpar tank to do the Raststone dungeons with me. He's really ignored me all week, so that's why I'm having to do it, during the show. He's been running this thing called the Necros Explorer, which is it's pretty bad.
You can say an abomination. It's okay. We're dealing with the undead already.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. It definitely is a thing. So, yeah, I really wanted to run some Wrathstone dungeons because I just wanted to see the story, and I like to see the story, and I didn't want to, annoy pugs as I'm sitting there like, ooh, I'm going to talk to this guy and go through every single dialogue option. But anyway, I didn't get to do that.
Well, maybe if you hadn't disbanded the entire Hands of Fate guild,
they're still there, but I need tanks, right? So,
well, you won't get a tank if you keep insulting those things. Just saying.
Well, I don't insult them if they're good.
Whoever your friend is, perhaps you shouldn't insult him.
Well,
to wake him up in the middle of the night, like 4 or 5 a.m., to tank dungeons for you that he has already completed, just so that you can read every single written text ever put in that dungeon.
Yeah.
I really wish I had the ability to save so that I could just come over and I could just idle and set my character to auto block in the middle of the ESOTU. Or Malatar, so all the dudes can just keep uppercutting me indefinitely while I read scripture.
Well, I mean, you're probably right. His network connection probably wouldn't hold together for tanking anyway. So,
also, speaking of salt, I'm just gonna point out the sun is blatantly up in the sky in the background.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
Totally is.
Like when we started, it was dark, and I'm like, it is daytime now.
It is bright and hot. But I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? And then I know I asked pre-show, like, all right, because I cannot remember what was the order of how everything was released, and I hate Murkmire, I really do. But I can't break the idea that it came before everything else. So I'm in Murkmire.
Yep.
Messing around.
It's not that long, at least. If you never end up getting to a point where you're too invested.
Well, I see there's only 7 main quests.
And I'm not going to lie to you, 3 of those about 45 minutes to an hour.
I'm just trying to find how many quests are there in general, though.
I think there's 3 major side quests. Then there's just some scattered Argonians drinking mud or whatever they do.
Yeah, seems accurate.
But there's the 3 major side quests. And if you're going to, that's actually one of the major side quests. I'm not gonna. There's a calendar thing that kind of neat.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. What I was working around the Bright Throat Village, so that's what I was doing first and foremost. And I gotta say, the story actually did kind of have me enthralled, and probably part of it's just because I am a dad now. So I kind of feel for parents. But if you haven't done this story, but I'm gonna go through. You have to. There's weird things going on with all the hist eggs, which, I mean, honestly, it's hist. Who cares, right? They're a bunch of lizards. Mm-hmm. I agree, but I guess there's the ghost people, which are the Argonian tribe that steal dead people, like steal corpses and stuff.
Oh, yes. The Vashgalil or something.
Yes.
The ghost people, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like stealing eggs and there's actually one of the egg tenders who freaks out. And here, it's a pretty heartwarming story. She's barren, essentially. She can't... I don't know if she can't breed or she's never been chosen in the bonding ritual. I don't know that much of what exactly happened. But the long and short of it is she's an accomplice to this person in the ghost tribe. And it was neat to see because when she finally gets there, she realizes what the person's doing, which is like corrupting these eggs. And this person is devastated, like absolutely devastated that this thing is happening because she really wanted to hatch these eggs so she could have children.
Yep.
But it starts getting into some really interesting like lore side of things where when you finally do get to the end, you kill the person who's doing all this stuff. She finds one of the Argonians that hasn't been driven mad or hasn't been grown, and she wants to keep her, but she's like... Anyone ever see Serenity? The Firefly movie?
I haven't, but luckily I know the quest that you're doing, so I can still stay with it.
She essentially acts like... what's her name? Willow? What's her name?
Oh, I don't remember
the girl. The girl, like she's all
the weird girl.
Yeah, she's not all there. Yeah, she's not all there. And when you finally get back to the tribe has to decide what they want to do. Like whether or not you let her stay or essentially excommunicate her from the tribe, cutting off both the woman who has the person and the other egg she found, which isn't an egg. She's full grown now, but she's insane, or at least acts like it. It's weird. Like her mind's broken. But one of the Argonians had an interesting thought going, well, here's the thing. The Hist are what connect us as a people. She was not born of the Hist. She was taken away, and whatever this other person was doing, she was essentially grown. Does she even have a soul? Because we get our souls from the Hist. So
I'm lost.
Do you want to say what you did with her?
Oh, I had her excommunicated, but then I felt terrible about doing it.
Okay, yeah, I was curious what you did with it.
Yeah, I was like, after talking to the woman, she's like, whether or not I would prefer to stay here. Obviously, this is a lot more emotional than the way I'm putting it. She's like, I'd prefer to stay with my family, but I love this creature, which is a fully grown female Argonian, but, you know, she's broken. And she's like, if they force me out, I'll go with her. So, yeah, I know I had her excommunicated, but I felt really bad about that by the end. I was like, wow, that really sucks just to see what exactly happened to her. But yeah, I had her excommunicated from the tribe. So that's actually what I've been doing, was just doing that quest. That's what I've been quiet this entire, because I'm like reading it going, what just happened?
I did the exact same thing. So that's why I was curious what you chose. That's the same decision I ended up coming to.
Is there a reason why you chose to excommunicate her versus?
Because my thing was, if she made that decision prior to, where she didn't look out for the overall well-being of the tribe that she was part of, for the sake of, yes, she was trying to do something good, but at the same time, she was trying to do something.
She was doing something selfish.
That's what I was about to say. She was trying to save the eggs, so to speak, but I was like, she's not doing it for a good reason. She's doing it for a very selfish reason. So I was like, that's not really something. Like,
the good reason would have been to let them stay there and hatch instead of giving them to someone else.
Right. And the thing was, she didn't like how they were like, oh, if the eggs aren't doing well, they would just kind of like put them back into like the Hist juice or whatever it was.
Essentially, and they like recycle them.
Yeah, exactly. And they start over. And she thought that was kind of heartless and cruel. So it's like, okay, that's fine that you don't agree with that and you think you're doing good, but what she's actually doing was pretty selfish, and it ended up being way more screwed up in the end than if you had just done that.
Well,
so it was like,
it's essentially she got Ursula'd, from Little Mermaid. I can help you out here, then find out the person's a witch. And you're like, oh.
Exactly. So
you're not here to help me.
So when that was how I looked at it, I was like, I don't think you being around a tribe of people is necessarily a good thing.
Yep.
So you can deal with the thing you made, and you can do so on your own, out away from the rest of the tribe, so to speak.
Right.
I didn't really feel bad for her. I felt bad for the weird little abomination.
Sure. Yeah. But here's the thing. Being the religious person that I am, the idea of excommunication is more of a bigger thing. Now, I'm not Catholic, so we don't really do any of that. But the idea is being cut off from the tribe and deity. Their entire deity is the Hist.
Sure. So it's like you're basically not being...
They're being cut off from their god.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So the thing that sort of interested me was the fact that whether the abomination not being born of the Hist, therefore would not have that connection. And the reason why I remember this was back in one of the Shadowfen, there was a side quest where, how do I want to say it, where one of the people, it was a dark elf and a female dark elf and a male Argonian, and they had fallen in love and wanted to get married. She had left. He had left the marsh and went to Cyrodiil, and they were. But he started feeling the call of the Hist.
Oh yes, I remember that.
And she's trying to convince him to come back.
Yeah, that was base game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was base game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was. I feel like that was Deshaun or.
Yeah, I think it was Shadowfen. Because
was it in Shadowfen?
It was in Shadowfen along the southern region. But
okay.
I believe at some point he rejects the Hist to be with her. And then he's like, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Yeah, it just goes silent.
Yeah. Like, even she talks about, like, he's not even the same person anymore now that he has no connection with the Hist whatsoever. So you had this abomination who had no connection from the beginning, so to speak. Whether or not, and that's what the one Argonian was saying, does she even have a soul? Because she wasn't born of the Hist. She doesn't know what it's like to commune with our deity. But then to have to choose to excommunicate the other one made me feel bad for both. Because I'm sitting there going, wow, making that decision literally just cut this person off from their heritage and their deity in one fell swoop. Even though, like, what she wanted, there's so many people who are terrible parents or don't want their kids. This woman, for whatever reason, wanted a child.
Wanted kids, right.
And I must have been skipping through it. I don't know exactly why she couldn't. I don't know, like I said, if she was infertile or...
why. Yeah, I don't remember them bringing up a...
I don't know.
Yeah, either they did or they didn't go into it.
Yeah, but even the people who you talk to, the other egg tenders, go... Yeah, it's sad she can't have, essentially kids of her own or whatever the case may be but she's like really the most caring person that we've ever seen. She has all this love to give, but no one to give it to.
Yeah.
You feel bad for her. And then to find out she had been beguiled by a witch who was doing essentially anathema, I like that word, to their entire religion.
Well... And, I mean, it's just so funny when that thing was leaving, because that's kind of what it is. It's just kind of like a little thing at that point. It's so pathetic looking the way it walks.
It almost...
This is tragic.
When I first saw it, because I had the sound off, I thought it was going to attack her. It was walking like a zombie.
Like a feral one.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I've been doing. I thought that was honestly a very neat quest, and I'm actually really sad that Promethean isn't here.
Yes, because he's such a fan of Mark. Well, and that's what I mean. That's what I ended up getting in the end, was little snippets of that stuff, where I'm like, okay, overall in the end, because I had a rough getting into it, and then eventually it became kind of bad in the end. I was like, you know what? There were actually a few of those that I really liked in the end, and they weren't really feel-good stories. They were kind of like, ugh, this is warped.
Yeah. So, and that's the only one I found so far, and I really want to see more about the ghost people, and because I find them to be interesting characters, because there's these Argonians. We talked about Game of Thrones earlier. It reminds me of the Hill Tribes.
Oh, yeah.
Where Tyrion has the Hill Tribes, and he talks about how all these brutal Hill Tribes, but there's this group of Hill Tribe called the Burn Men, because they're like the whatever they are, the burnt ears or missing ears, don't talk with the Dog Men. The Dog Men don't eat with Moon Brothers. No one eats with the Burn Men.
Yeah.
Like, because of who they are, that's had me thinking about it and going, wow, what exactly is going on?
Yep.
And I want to meet this tribe that no one wants to go by. Like, they're that crazy. No one wants to be around them. So, whew. All right, that's my tales. That's literally all I got. But
I was gonna say, see that
you did all this while we were doing the show.
Yes,
I'm telling you, you can. Murkmire really puts a lot of content in a pretty small, condensed. There's not a lot of filler in Murkmire. I found it was definitely rough to get into, but once you're going. I was done Murkmire, and I was like, oh, that was very condensed, but didn't feel like cut. It was just like, oh, that just kind of was very streamlined for what it was. So,
and I'm fine with that because I'm already tired of it. But that story was pretty nice, like something that. Now
I'm curious how you like the dream stride and the hatching, whatever it's called. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Whatever the dream stride is, there's a specific area you go to that looks super, super cool. The story there I actually thought was pretty neat too, as like the closing. And I'll be curious what your decision was in the end, because at that point I think we'll probably be past the point, or we can just mention spoilers, because I didn't want to ruin my ending by saying it. And, well, here's the.
I think by the time I get to it. Yep. This has already been out for 6 months or something like that, or longer.
Yeah, it came out last October.
Yeah, I mean we'll give spoilers or whatnot, so people who haven't played it, know that we're going to talk about.
I've
been
taking spoilers the entire conversation, but
well, I mean, if you don't care, well, the other part was I could have had it done earlier. I didn't have the drive to play it.
I know,
because I didn't really like I still don't. Like, just the area that I'm running through right now.
Will never do it.
All right, well, then in which case, okay. And from what even Promethean had told us, nothing connects. So it's not like a Darian Gutierrez storyline. We're like, oh, yeah.
Not even close, yeah.
Yeah, there's people there that if you don't do it, they hint at something.
Well, I'll be curious if any of these characters come back at a later date. Type of thing. Like, I could see that being a thing, like, oh, this person from Murkmire. Like, I get that.
Right.
Even with the collections agency, I mean, them being so Imperial based, I could see them being in Elsewyr or something like that that make it through the whole thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I could see that being a possibility. It's just, in and of itself, that story seemed completely self-contained as far as I could tell. And I mean, I'm done the region.
Right. I mean, Argonians are self-contained because no one cares about them anyway. So
yeah, and they don't care about their own history, which is interesting as well.
I'm not going to lie. I actually wish more of the zones were done this way.
Like a little self-contained thing, as opposed to, like, maybe have one major story and then have, like,
the major overarching story were in those instant zones with, like, Sai Sahan and whatnot. But the reason why I like more... What is one of the things that we talk about with Elder Scrolls is the freedom to go anywhere you want. And yet, with this particular thing, I feel like that's less of a case. Because, for instance, doing Morrowind before you do any of the other areas
is
more of a problem.
that would be weird.
Yeah.
That's why I can't. That's why I haven't been able to start Elsewyr storyline with my new Necromancer, because I know there will be recurring characters, so I have to do it on my main first.
Yeah.
To get the proper of it, because you will meet. I mean, at the very least, you will meet Cadwell. And my Necro doesn't know who Cadwell is, but my main knows.
Right.
So I have to do my main character first, but I also have to level my Necromancer first to try out the veteran DLC, how it performs. So it's like, I can't get to it yet. So I'm just avoiding Elsewyr.
I mean, I'm not doing it either, but... Oh, for a second there, I thought that was... I'm in an area called the Teeth of Sithis, which is like this...
Yes, I know where you are.
Yeah. There is a book across what looks like a broken bridge, but I have no idea how to get to it.
Jump.
Really?
Jump.
Is it an Indiana Jones thing, the leap of faith?
I have no idea, just jump.
I don't remember where
nope, that's not it.
No.
Okay.
Thanks, Ark.
I like Ark's just smug. It's like, oh, damn, that's a shame. That didn't...
I actually honestly thought what it was a leap of faith moment, like from Indiana Jones, because it looks like a completely broken bridge, right? And I'm like, I can see the glow of a book over across this bridge.
You probably just failed your jump.
I'm trying to remember.
Might be a jump and puzzle kind of thing.
Yeah, there were a few things that I bunny again. I assume that's how you solved them, but I bunny hopped my way through a few things that I'm not sure I was supposed to or not.
I don't see how you could bunny hop this. Like legit, I don't see how it's even possible.
By getting better at the game.
No. Like if I'm gonna share my screen again because obviously, this dude over here. I'm getting there. All right, it's just up this hill.
Get this full screen.
Yeah. So okay.
Oh God, that's loud.
Well, thankfully no one else can hear it, so I can't even hear it. So you guys are the lucky ones here. All right.
Now my question.
See, if you used my beautiful voice meter program, you could be hearing us. I don't hear you guys though. Hold on. Jeez.
All right. So. Actually, is this...
Oh no, I muted that completely.
See, that's the problem. See.
Yeah, there you are. All right.
One extreme to another.
I know. So I'm coming around this section here.
Yeah, I know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
Because I like this delve.
Yeah, no, the delve's pretty neat. A lot of zombies and things. So, all right, we come here. This is where the actual boss is for the delve. But you see, right across this giant chasm is a lore book right over there.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't have that one yet, so I don't actually know how to do that.
Open the map. Where is this?
It's right here. This
It's the delve.
Yeah, it's a delve. I think I
made
this.
This is my life's mission now.
Tamed Vile Tongue. Do you see this?
This is my life's mission.
What?
There can't be any place in the game that is not jumpable. There's gotta be a way. Oh no!
But look, there's a Tamed Vile Tongue right here, and there's one on that side. That. Yeah, but how do you do it?
What they do?
Do you jump on it?
Are they like one of those interactable plants?
It doesn't look like it.
Maybe you use it to like teleport from one to one or make a bridge out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, but how? Like that's the thing. I'm like, I don't. It's not doing anything. It's green, so it's friendly.
Try crouching. Crouching.
Oops. Oh, okay. No.
Dodge roll into the abyss.
No.
Try it.
That'll do it. No. That's the trick.
Yeah, but see, there's a tamed one here and a tamed one over there. I just don't know how.
Isha in chat says you use them to go there. Do you have the skill? But via what skill?
Yeah, I was gonna
Is
say.
there a skill line with Murkmire?
What skill?
The one from the Lotus quest. The skill from the Lotus quest. Lotus, why are you giving quests to
Look,
people?
man, all right, I snuck my way in. Lehman Tuttle wasn't paying attention. I decided to slip in and start dropping quests.
But that's where I don't know at this point. Ag does not have any...
Yasrat says you need a memento from a quest.
Interesting.
I gotta say, I love that.
That is really cool. That would also explain why I don't have that one yet. Because I saw that and I was like, I gotta come back to this. And now I'm like, I think that's what I want to do next is figure out.
Yeah. Do you know what the memento
way cooler
is
than I
called?
realized.
Yeah. See, this is what makes a game feel alive.
I know.
We need more of these.
Oh, man. That's...
Stand by one and look at the other one. You transport between the two. That's what I'm just trying to figure out, like what the thing is. But this actually very much reminds me of the one Legend of Zelda that they keep talking about. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
Breath of Life?
No, it's one of the older ones because you could get every dungeon had an item that had a dungeon purpose, but it also could be used in a combat way later on. Pyrite.
I never played Zelda games, so I'm lost.
Invoked.
I have no idea.
Of Argon, Festival Maker, Fire Rock. Yeah, I must already have it. It's called the Fire. Oh, it's called when used near a friendly stranger, called obtained by doing the Dead Water Assist. Okay, so I don't have that yet. Oh, that's why I don't have that book. Well, thank you so much, Rystrad, because that's awesome. But yeah, I've now learned something.
See, now you have a purpose.
Right? That is really cool.
Purpose.
I did not know that really had that much of a point.
They need to do more of that.
No kidding, right?
Mementos that have a purpose, like that could do things like that. Reach inaccessible parts of a map that you never were able to get to before.
Now, that would be a good progression feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I always like the idea of skills that have a purpose, but actually can be used for more than just the one intended purpose that it had before. Because that never feels good, per se, is when you get something as like, oh yeah, that was only for the one thing. Like it only had one purpose. That never feels good.
Ooh, Jamestown says it would be even better if there was an unreachable sky shard.
Oh, if they hid like actual sky, that'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
Now that would be a good incentive, like, okay, and people would notice it. I probably wouldn't have noticed that lore book there, But if it was a sky shard, I would be like, okay, what?
Right.
How do we get there?
Yeah, well, it's interesting too because, like Isha said, like since there's apparently more things you can use that memento on. Now I want to go back through all the things that I made note of. Like I have to come back to that and clearly forgot to go back to.
Yeah.
And be like, oh yeah, I need to go back to that now.
Several that would be awesome. Like you could go back and find hidden stuff. Now I'm more intrigued with Murkmire. Okay, now you just piqued me a little bit.
He got pulled more.
Shard.
Well, I mean, I love that sort of thing. So yeah, no, that has me way more interested than this did originally. Definitely.
So, on the note of us reaching almost 2 hours, and Ark looks like he's literally about to pass out. Do you have any tales?
Oh, I've been dead for the last hour.
I know. I was going to say, I've been slowly...
Necromancy, yeah.
I was going
I mean, I have tales, but I'm not going to. Basically, what I've been doing is I've been leveling a necromancer by doing boring, old zones, public dungeons, battlegrounds.
You were doing the dolmen grind too, weren't you?
No, I'm not gonna do Dolmen Grind. That's
good. Don't do that.
I'm basically just spamming
Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds are at least fun to spam. They are. Yeah, I'll just battleground my way while doing quests in between for skill points.
Oh yeah.
That's my current plan. But yeah, so if you guys don't have anything else,
I'm
gonna end the show.
No. Yes, and pass out.
So, actually, can you do the outro?
Well, I guess if I have to, I can no, I will definitely do the outro. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I like doing the outro. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. You can follow everything we do over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. And, of course, follow all these awesome people. We got Arkhaniir, who he does stream a little bit over at twitch.tv/Arkhaniir. And, of course, Lotus of Doom, the, I guess, our official charity streamer. Check out his stuff. Finally, at twitch.tv/Lotus of Doom with a 0 in there somewhere, I think.
Yep.
It's weird. Anyway.
That's it.
Anyway, follow everything dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. There you find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to check out our Patreon program at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork if you want to help support the show. You can also do that by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words. Sometimes it matters. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we'll see you next time. See you later, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magic effused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.